So, the reason that I'm here, and we also have our city manager, Brian Wilson, here. He's the one that actually does all the running of the city. We just, as council, kind of tell him how to run the city. The reason that we're here is because while the notices appear to be perfectly legal, it does not necessarily make them right. And because of that, people being in risk of being displaced, of potentially becoming homeless, or not knowing where you're going, no one deserves that. Especially hearing the conditions that you've been living under in a lot of these places is not right. So what we're going to do is look into what we can do as a city, what we're legally allowed to do, whether it's talking to the new owner, looking what other jurisdictions have done, what other cities have done when things like this has happened, and see what we can do as a council and as a city to either help get length of stay or monetary reimbursement, anything that we can do to help. So we don't know what that is yet. We just found out about this Friday night when it was posted. And Brian, who is our city manager, he hasn't had the opportunity to talk with staff and see what that looks like yet until tomorrow. However, tomorrow night is a city council meeting.
Go.
And that is at 7 p.m. at Burien City Hall. That's the downtown Burien Library on 152nd. Please show up. It's at 7. If you show up by 6:30, you can sign up to get your name on the list to speak. You have 2 minutes to speak. If you don't want to, but someone else with you would speak for you, you can cede your time to someone else. You just go up to the podium, say your name, and say, I want to give my time to whoever. And that means we have to hear you. We don't get to address you. It's a little backwards, but we can hear what you say. It goes on public record. We'll likely have news crews there that will hear your thoughts as well. And that's important because it shows that you're not going to be quieted and that you are standing up for yourselves.
I have a question. Now, I'm a care provider, and she's on oxygen, and she's extremely ill. But she's got serious issues.
Yeah.
If that's the case, is there any type of provision that she can get into some type of housing?
So what we will do with that is I'll defer to our city manager, but that's what we're going to look into for tomorrow. So I'll let him address that.
You may be able.
And Helena, who is with the tenants union.
So thank you for letting us know about what's occurred. I've had a couple conversations with several of you about the notice that came out on September 14th that the property was sold, and then shortly after that, some eviction notices for the first 6 units over here. 7. Is that correct? Okay. And
Sean
then
counts 8 too.
Well, those are Section 8.
1 through 6, then they did
Section 8.
Yeah.
okay, and then Section 8 is located throughout the. Okay. So I have not, as Councilmember Marx stated, I have not had the opportunity to talk to the owners to find out what's going on and what their plans are. But this is something that will demand immediate attention to find out what is going on and what are the plans. We do have staff within the city that we can look to assist. And again, there's legal process that's part of this, and again, that's why I want to look into it and make sure that it's being done as it should be. If it's not, we need to. We want to err on the side of our tenants here to make sure that this is, that your needs are taken care of here. So, our plan is I have staff that are available that can provide assistance. I'll find out information in terms of what is happening with this company. I was advised of the garbage here. Sounds like there was pickup and now there isn't. I don't know if this is a transition problem, but that's unacceptable and that needs to take place.
Now, where are they going to put the garbage?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
So, and I understand there's been some problem apartments with leaks and problems that have occurred. I'd like to know about that as well.
Electrical problem. Yeah, so we have a copy of your notice to vacate, or that it was sold and then there were some vacate. So we have that one that Corey or Cody or someone posted.
We have the introduction letter, which was so nice, saying, hi, welcome.
Yeah, that would be great.
And it was so nice, and then the next day everybody started.
Right.
So, but I can make a copy of that and bring that tomorrow.
So, or if you can even bring it, I can come by and get it ahead of time, then we can get it earlier and send it to all council members. And then if we could actually have also Helena, once she's able to talk to you guys about anything that she knows, she works directly with the tenants union, so it's her entire job to represent tenants, period. They have saved our family. If we were evicted, we were renters as well. If my family was evicted, a family of 6 right now, we'd be homeless, period. We don't, there's no way. And that doesn't matter whether you're Section 8 or not. No one deserves to go from paying their rent, living in a place that they've been trying to improve, and then living on the street. So it's her job to prevent that from happening, not to put too much pressure on her shoulders right now.
No pressure at all.
Anything you want to share with them while you're here?
Yeah, sure. My name's Elena. I'm with the Tenants Union of Washington. I'm also here on behalf of my coworker, Julissa Sanchez, who does, who is more familiar with Burien, works right here in Burien, but she's out of town. I want to thank you all, first of all, for coming out, for like organizing yourselves and standing up in response to this, because that's a hugely important first step. To be honest, like Crystal was saying, legally speaking, the notices are probably legal. The laws are not strong enough to protect folks, and that's why it's great that we have folks from the city in it, even at this early stage, because that can be one goal, is to pass laws that will prevent something like this happening again, and to insist on that. But like someone pointed out, you know, the city can enforce laws that are not yet on the books, and so that means that it really falls, unfortunately, on you all, on like telling your stories the way that you have been, and confronting whoever this new owner is to tell him or her or them that this is unacceptable. And I think that you all have to decide as a community like what makes sense as the steps forward. Something we've seen be useful for other groups is to come ready with lists of grievances. I was hearing from folks about mushrooms, about leaks, about the black mold, the trash not being taken out. Right, and so really being able to like list what that looks like, maybe show photos, like show the world what you all have been dealing with for however long you've lived there, and then also come together as a community around demands. Like, what do you need to be able, you know, to make this less unjust? I'm not saying you can make it perfect, but how much time do you need? What kind of relocation assistance do you need? I'm really setting high asks that will help everyone and standing together around those. Yeah.
This building is in such disarray. What if the new owners just decide not to fix nothing, just have us all? Because they can do that because we complaining about how the living conditions of the buildings. So this could actually not work in our favor.
And they have said if they get in and see that that they're too bad, they're going to
Yeah, there's
inspections already that I know of.
Right.
Before they bought the place.
So
the next day.
I'm just saying, you know, either way it goes,
we all gotta go.
we all gotta really be careful right now, because this can go real bad real fast. Because all they gotta say is that forget it, everybody can move. It's our property, and you know we're gonna.
I mean, that's what's gonna happen.
But the living conditions and the stipulations and the harassment as to which all of us in this complex are going through, even if there is those circumstances, this is not okay.
But so I want to hear, I think, I'm hoping Helena can talk to it. There are some laws against retaliation.
It's hard to prove.
It is hard to prove, but the more and the faster you go public, I think you all have already done some of that. You have a Facebook, appeared in the news, that kind of thing. And the more you formalize your complaints, maybe make a written letter requesting certain repairs, requesting to meet with the owner, that kind of thing, the more you have a paper trail that you're acting communally and acting, you know, to look out for yourselves and your families, the harder it is for them to justify just immediately kicking everyone out, because there are laws against retaliation.
I have a question. How do we prove that we've been calling the office and stuff like that? We just take a picture of our call log or whatever, or
That's a good step.
We've called. We've all called, and she's always on vacation.
She's always on vacation.
She won't answer any of our phones.
And that's important. I think writing something, you know, attesting to that, as well as being able to submit call logs, text logs, what have you, It would also probably be a good time to put something down on paper collectively and send a certified letter, or a certified letter from every tenant. You know, y'all can decide how to do it.
So are we supposed to continue paying our rent and move to?
So, legally speaking, it's very risky to withhold your rent. It makes it very easy for them to kick you out because of the unfair ways the laws are written. Sorry?
In Burien.
In the state of Washington, honestly, and in Burien as well. So I never advise folks to withhold your rent unless you have a written concession from the owner saying, we understand, you know, we're turning your lives upside down so we can turn a profit. We're gonna let you stay 3 months without rent so you can save up. That would be a great thing to ask for, but I can't encourage you to just not pay, even though that's really frustrating advice to give. Does that make sense?
Can't afford to pay two places. Any advice at this point is good advice because they don't even talk to us.
Yeah, we don't even know what they look like.
That's what I'm asking for tomorrow at the city council meeting.
See, not one of us
rent free or 3 months with the rent.
you want.
And so that might be a good
Don't know what he looks
demand
like.
would be to have a meeting with the owner.
I don't know if it's a he or a she.
Insist that they come and talk to you all to your face.
Right.
And before that meeting, be prepared and be sort of unified about what you're telling them, what you're asking for, who's going to speak, that sort of thing.
Well, that's what I'm going to do on Monday, is to take steps to contact this owner and meet with them and find out what's going on behalf of the residents.
Are you gonna try to get them to go to the council meeting?
That's tomorrow.
Well,
You get 2 minutes.
But that's not the place to do it.
I think that it's not going to. I think having if Brian is successful in reaching the owner, which I think he would be, it's one thing, and it sucks that it's this way. It's one thing if a resident reaches out in complaining, especially if they plan on turning it over. But it's another thing if the manager of a city who is in charge of the laws that we have here says, you know what, you need to contact me, and that's what we're hoping for, is by raising it up even higher, that they have to respond. Now, at the city council meeting tomorrow, I personally, just knowing how these meetings go, I don't think that's the place to confront them. I think that's the place for you to have dedicated time to come and give your 2 minutes each.
You don't want them there because you want the freedom to speak the way you want to
Exactly.
without them retaliating.
Yeah, you want to be able to say what you want to say and get your concerns heard so that you get all of council behind you, or as many as possible, and that you let the rest of the community know. Right now, a few people, like a good portion who follow that Facebook page or watched Cairo know, but this is your opportunity to talk to more people without them stepping in and saying, no, that's not the case. This is your chance to talk.
Well, since I'm her care provider, I wish I would have met him before he started this mess, but I have 3 words I would have had to have given him.
I have a feeling I know what those words are, and they're good.
So it's female, Taurus, and postmenopausal.
That's better than the words I thought were going to come out. Either one's fine.
I just want to lift up also that there's research that you all can do about who are these folks who bought the building, where is their office, who funds them.
We found out the company that they got the loan from is out of Beverly Hills, and we already know how much the property sold for.
Awesome. So it
What is
might
the
be possible that you could find targets
$5 million.
or closer, one in Beverly Hills, and you can maybe each of you go
$5
to
million
them.
Yeah.
$5 million.
So what is something before, like, I want to give you guys the time to talk amongst yourselves and figure out if you want to go to council tomorrow night, what you want to say, how you want to go forward. But while you have us here, what are some things that you either want us to know, want us to do, or would like help with in between now and then, even if it's to help you get ready for tomorrow night if you want to go to council?
Well, I'm one of the first tenants in the whole complex that started the move-out process.
Okay.
Because I want to keep my family locally, to keep my daughter at the same school, so my wife can still make it to work.
Yep.
When I can't take her because she walks, she doesn't drive.
Okay.
But most importantly, education. I don't want to be caught with my, pants around my ankles, and all of a sudden, nobody can do nothing for me, and all of a sudden I got nowhere to go. or miss the opportunity to find the place as close as I did.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
time lost from work a little bit, but great that I had an opportunity. But what do I get out of it? I mean, can I? How about a pay? What would they say? Buy us out?
Right.
Not in theory.
So let's not, as of right now, that there's no law about that in Burien.
No kidding.
But
In the state.
in the state, yeah. What you can do is if you say those exact things at council, so he's going to be reaching out to the owners, and we're going to start thinking about, as a council, what can we do, if anything, to make this easier of a transition. Because if they're determined to move you guys out, that's what they're going to do. So what can we do to help make it easier or cheaper or something better to find those resources? And that's what we want to hear about.
I also got some advice to talk to them, make sure that I wasn't obligated by them that I had to stay here till the end of October. So I moved out without telling them. I was going to tell them, but that they could still penalize me. So I got verbal confirmation that I'm okay to move out by them. So and it's really hard for them to get. You have to almost threaten them for them to get an answer from them. It took 6 hours, 3 phone calls later, for them to finally say, "Go ahead and move out." You know, we finally got a hold of corporate.
They wanted that
When they didn't want to give me an answer, I finally said, "Fine, I'll stay in those apartments, force you to take me to court, and I'll make you buy me out." Oh, 10 minutes later, I got a phone call. "Go ahead, move out."
Is there any possible way that you guys can have deep notice? Because we didn't get no notice, no nothing, we didn't know the building was being sold, and we know he got $5 million. Okay, if he got $5 million, then he should be nice enough to help us relocate. Since they did it so shitty.
70 people paid first and last and a deposit.
Right.
Are they going to get their deposit back?
So I'm not sure how that works. I think we're gonna have to work with the tenants union and as the city manager as well, figure out what we're legally allowed to do, and if there's anything that we're allowed to change about our own city ordinances. There are some things in Washington State that kind of supersede us that we're not allowed to challenge, period. And that's no matter how hard we might want to or try, it is illegal for us to do. But there are some things that we can do at the city level. So what we're going to be doing is figuring out, is there anything that we can do, what would make the most sense and help the most people.
They're really not very
Pressure on.
Okay, I got a question. I have been living in an apartment that has black mold in it for 2 years.
And they won't do anything?
We haven't had a fridge for 3 years.
Yeah,
I bought a small fridge. Yes, he's put in over a dozen requests. No, he bought one at the store for 3 years. We have black mold everywhere.
Rebecca Pinland.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Rebecca.
Okay.
REBECCA.
You have a fridge?
He bought a small one because they wouldn't come fix it. Yeah.
And being her caregiver, I also understand
So in the letter we got, the introduction letter, it did say that they were going to put our deposit in some bank in Bellevue.
They have to notify
If
you
we
when they
were
switch
allowed
it.
a deposit back. But the thing is, if some of us move, or well, we're all going to move out, but they're going to say that we caused the black mold or we caused the bed bugs.
I never even did a walkthrough and I've been here 3 years.
Yeah, me neither.
So,
You have to get your deposit back legally. If they didn't do a walkthrough, because I've been through this, they have to give you your deposit back, your whole deposit back.
They already said part of it is non-refundable.
Yeah, but they had a leak in their wall from the floor above that dripped water for 2 years, and that caused the black mold. They didn't cause it.
My dad's in the back behind his toilet. If I stomp like this, it's gonna go through the ground. There's black mold in all of them.
My bathroom floor, the tile is coming up, and the guy that just fixed it 2 days ago finally got it dry. There was a hole in my bathtub that when my neighbor Garrett went downstairs to use their bathroom, he has video footage of as the tub's draining.
Coming out the
There,
light.
there's a faucet as their light is on, and it's pouring out of the electrical fixture.
But
That's
they
not
don't
okay.
do
So I would like
Yeah.
to, so if you have a unit specific issue, which is totally legit and valid, that is something that is not my expertise. I don't want to give you bad advice. I don't know anything about tenant rights. I would think the place to go to is to talk to maybe Helena or look into that. If there's anything that we can do if you decide that you want to speak to council, if you decide that you want any assistance with preparing how to do that, if you don't feel confident, if you want to bounce ideas off, I want to be able to give you my contact information while I'm here so that you can reach out directly. And just to let you know that the city, because of people like Jay and people that are posting about it and you're not staying silent about it, that now we're able to help. And that's the goal, is to be able to do that. So
We really do.
That's,
We love you, Jay.
Is there a way to find out your plans and their timeline for taking the rest of the people out, like when they plan to do it?
That's part of what I'm going to ask the question.
I think that'd be a good idea.
does anyone have any other specific questions for the three of us? I want to let you guys organize and do your thing without us standing over you, and that's not my card.
We really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I will get that from Jay, and I will give you a call. I'll make a copy of the letter tonight.
Cool. I can meet you here or wherever if you want me to. Yeah.
6:30 tomorrow.
As long as they can get their way and they can get out in a certain amount of time. I'm on disability. I can't even afford to rent anything. I would need homes. Is there any
This is what we're going to look into in terms of the circumstances. And again, we'll do our best.
Same way with Becky. She's got a lot of illnesses and.
Yeah, if anything at all, just write down as much as of how this would impact you, the times that you've, like the issues you're experiencing, the times you've reached out, get it all together.
Is that what we should say tomorrow?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
get it written down.
Yeah, write it down.
They can cede their time to someone else, so we can figure out who wants to talk.
Yeah, who's going to be our spokesman?
All you gotta do is sign
I already did that part.
That's all you.
I'm not good at public speaking.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, there was a lot of Yeah, you would. Yeah, there was more.
There's two bedroom, a fireplace.
Crystal.